Let's get started. Let's hug those knees in. Okay, let's do 8 more. See if you can let your lower back round. And then we'll come into butt kicks. Waking up everything, whether you just got out of bed or you're getting up from your desk. Get the blood flowing, loosen up the joints. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come back to center, nice wide legs, and get into a squat. Reach, press up your toes and reach. And let's take it across to a punch. Four more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Pop your hip out side to side. It's okay if you keep your legs nice and wide. It feels a little different. And hula hoops. Go a few in each direction. Make sure you reverse. 4, and then figure 8s. Keep your feet wide. You really have to push into that hip movement, and that's a good thing. And let's reverse. And if you don't know what reverse is, don't worry about it. Just keep figure 8ing. Okay, let's toes out, knees out, sink down into your squat. Let's lift one heel up and the other heel up. One heel and the other. And both heels up. We're not lifting ourselves up. We're just staying low and lifting your heels. And while we're here, let's take one shoulder down, give it a stretch, other shoulder down. And let's make it nice and fluid, side to side. And let's roll it up. Let's roll those shoulders. And let's make that lazy backstroke. The arms, let your body turn and rotate. And take a big breath in. Press it up. Lean to one side. Stretch through that whole side body. Come on up. Press up. Lean over to the other side. Back to center. Hands on head. Press it up. Arch back. Just with your upper back. So we're not doing this through the low back. My low back is neutral. Just pull back, stretch through the upper back. Good. And let's circle it out. And reverse. 2, 3, 4. And let's bring our hands to our shoulders. Get our elbow circles in. Make sure your elbows are coming together. Up, pushing back as far as you can and around. Don't get lazy with these. I know we do them a lot, like every class. And then let's swing your arms. Let's go 8 more. 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So today we're lifting heavier than we have been. I actually love today's workout. So we'll be patient. We'll go a little bit slower. We'll be lifting heavier. And if you don't have heavy weights, I'll show you the modifications with bands. Okay, let's Prince it out a little bit because we're doing a lot of lower body. Start single leg work. Get those ankles nice and warm. And then let's do our ankle wiggles. So leg out, point your toe down, and just move through your ankle. You'll feel it in your lower leg. We're not moving the whole leg. Keep that leg still. Find the control to move your foot just through your lower leg and your ankle. Circle it if you like. Wiggle some more and bring it down. And then we'll wiggle the other side. So notice I'm not doing this. It's not coming from the hip. It's not coming from my knee. It's all coming from the ankle. Good. Okay. Let's find our balance on one leg. Again, we're going to wake up those inner thigh muscles. We need them for the first move we're doing. And so it's like you're kicking a hacky sack, trying to bring that heel up. You're firing that inner thigh, medial knee. And let's switch sides. So leg out, rotate, your knee is going to bend. You might feel it up into your hip if things are tight. I think I am now. This leg is not rotating as much as the other side was. There we go. Up, up, up. Find that hacky sack and keep kicking it. Nobody would want to play hacky sack with me with my ankle like that. So take a big breath in. Reach up. Let's fold down. Make sure your back is nice and stretched out. Hang out here in ragdoll. Our first set is a rear foot elevated split squat. It's my favorite move in the whole wide world. How did it take us months to even get to introducing that to you when we first started doing this? I don't know, but here we are. We are going to do that. Then we're going to come down on the floor and do weighted clamshells. And if we can do that with a band and a weight, your choice, whatever you got at home. And we are doing chest press and fly. And we're going to start off doing them separately. So it looks like there's 4 moves in this first circuit. Third time through, we're going to make that the chest press and then fly combo that we've done before. But I want you all, if you have the option to lift a little heavier, to push yourself a little bit more today. So starting with our rear foot elevated split squat. I'm going to start with 12 pounds in each hand, which is a lot for single leg work for me. And you're going to put your foot up. It doesn't matter if your foot is down like this or curled under like this. It's whatever is more comfortable. You want to be in a position where when you come down, you can drop that knee straight down and not be pushing too far forward through that front knee. So let's go for 8 to 12 on each side, staying up nice and tall. And 12. Okay, so think functional when you're choosing your weights. I know my backpack is at least 25 pounds when I go out overnight, even though it's not backpacking season anymore. I want to be able to walk upstairs carrying that 25 pounds. At the moment, the 212s is as close as I can get in a weight room to making that work. So think about what you carry, think about your groceries, think about flights of stairs, and let's go for side 2. So think it down and up. Or feel free to play around with that foot position and see what it feels like. And good. So is 24 the limit on what I lift with this? No. But right now, that's what I'm using. Shake your legs out, and we'll come down on the floor. So we need a similar weight. We're gonna make this challenging. So we're gonna set up for clamshells. You're gonna be lying all the way down. Imagine your back, your hips, and your feet are against a wall. The weight's gonna be just above your knee. And to start, this is all we're doing. You're gonna press down into the weight with your hand and lift up into the weight with your knee. If you don't have a heavy weight, use a band, use a lighter weight, combine them. Pause this video, get what you need. Let's roll it over to the other side. If you're using a heavy weight, move it safely. So side 2, the weight's just above the knee on your side. I'm pressing down into it and pushing into it with my knee. Keeping your hips stacked. We're not rocking your whole body trying to move that weight. Just lifting through the hip. Your glutes should be getting very tired. And then we're going to turn it over, come onto our backs. Find your weight that you need for doing a chest press. And then as soon as we're done with that set, we're going to come out to a set of flies. When your arm is out in this position for the fly, it's pretty vulnerable. So you can bend your elbow a little bit. You can also drop the weight. I don't know anyone who bench presses and flies with the same amount of weight, just because your arm moving so far away from your body puts your shoulder in a vulnerable place. So I'm going to grab my weights for the chest press. I'm going to try this first round with 20s in each hand. And then when it comes to the flies, I'll go back to the 12s. So rack your weights, roll it down. The weights, when you're here, your elbows are away from your sides and the weights are in line with your upper arm. From here, we'll lift up and press. 2, I find these much more fun than push-ups. You're feeling it in your wrists. Make sure your wrists are staying neutral, if they're not ramping back. And 12. Bring the weights down safely. Take a moment. Give those muscles a little bit of a rest. This is like a superset, working the same muscle 2 different ways. Find your lighter weights. Hold them up over your chest and let's come out for a fly. And up. Make sure your back stays flat into the floor. Ribs are pulled down. You're not tempted to arch. And 12. Okay, bring these weights down safely. Roll it up to sitting. We're done with our first round. We have 2 more to go. You can do this. Take your hands behind your back, pull your shoulders down and back. Stretch out those chest muscles, look up. We're going to give them a nice big break. We'll start up again in 1 minute. Grab a drink. Rearrange your space. reset your weights to whatever you need. So for chest and shoulders, I like to take a nice wide stance, hold my hands behind my back, not worry about what my back is doing, arching or not. Just roll your shoulders back and down, and then lift up your hands, and we're going to forward fold. Let your arms drop and roll it up. Let's find our weights and get into position. We're doing our split squats. Rear foot elevated. If you hate the rear foot elevated, I'm not watching you. If you're doing this on video afterwards, that is. Okay, let's get set up. Sink that back knee down and up. You want to keep a nice tall posture. If you find yourself doing this, I want you to take your weights up onto your shoulder and hold it there. It's going to help you stay more upright. Anywhere from 8 to 12. And we're going to switch sides. Down. And this is 12. Step your feet together. Bring the weights down. Take your hips out. Maybe do some butt kicks. Loosen everything up. And we'll come down onto the floor. So if I were using a band and a lighter weight, this is what it would look like. I use a band and a 5-pound weight. Everybody has 5s or 7s. So you got the band providing resistance and light weight. So band plus light weight equals heavier weight. This is the last time we're doing it like this. We're going to mix it up in the last set. Remember, we're not rocking back to open. It's not how high you lift your knee. It's how hard you're squeezing that glute to lift your knee up. This is rotation. These are the deeper muscles in your hip. Good. When you're all done, pound it out. Sometimes this is enough of a distraction. Make all that pain go away. Let's swing it around. The weight above your knee by the band doesn't have to be right on your knee. You don't want anything right on a joint. And let's lift up. Just remember, I'm pressing down into the weight and I'm pushing up into the weight. My hand to my knee. 11 and 12. Okay, let's put that little weight away. Let's take the band off. Let's take a moment and just come on your back. Make sure your back is feeling good. Let's do a couple of windshield wipers, stretch out your hips a little bit. And then come up to sitting. So how do you pick up weight safely when you're on the floor? Your weight is heavy. 20 pounds, I can't just flip it over my body, right? So you're gonna pick it up and put it in one hand. Pick up the other one, hopefully. You know, it's not so heavy, you can't pick it up. It would be the wrong size weight for you. And from here, you're gonna roll it back down and set up into position. So settle your back into the floor, get your arms out a little bit from your side, and let's go. Anywhere from 8 to 12, depending on how heavy you are lifting. And 12, bring that weight down. You can lift your knees up and push the weights against your knees and roll up. That might take a little practice, but it's doable. You can do it. Going for the lighter weights. Setting up the exact same way, except we're starting with our hands up towards the ceiling. Engage your shoulders, engage your back. Support those little rotator cuff muscles. Everything is working. Your arm muscles are working, chest muscles are working, back muscles are firing. The rotator cuff muscles are working for sure. But we want all the big muscle players helping. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Down. Roll it up. We're going to take just a minute here. Come into child's pose, stretch your arms and your shoulders and your back. Rearrange your area so when we go back to split squats, you don't find yourself tripping over your equipment. You know where to find everything. We have one more round. One more round. This is the longest one. The next 2 sets are going to be shorter and faster. Lifting heavy, taking your time. Let your body absorb the work it did. Make sure you're drinking water. It's warm where you are, or it hasn't been warm for a while. It's getting warm again. Maybe electrolytes. So 30 seconds. Again, let's take our hands behind our back, pull those arms up, forward fold, let your head, neck, and shoulders relax. Then come on up. Make some hip circles. Circle out your ankles. Get them ready to work. Find your weights for your split squats again. I'm starting non-dominant. Whatever my left leg, my non-dominant side does, my right leg is going to match. So if I can't get to 12, I'm not going to do 12 on the other side. The weights up if you need them for help hold staying upright. And let's sink it down and up. 2, 3. And well, now I guess I have to do 12 on the right, right? So if we keep catering to your dominant side and we don't try to focus on the non-dominant side, you will be forever lopsided. where one leg, one side of you will have strength and the other side won't. Just because you can lift heavy on one side, you should lift heavy on one side, but the weaker, the non-dominant side should be able to match it or come close. And two more. If you're going slower, take your time, pause the video, do what you need to do. Okay, let's put those weights away or off to the side. We're gonna come down on the floor. Let's start on hands and knees and just make some hip circles. Just give your hips a moment to absorb the work they've been doing. Think into child's pose. And let's work our way down onto our sides. There's no rush here, right? Your hips are getting tired and we're gonna work our hips again. Be kind to them. I'm gonna go for a little bit lighter weight. I started out doing these with 12s. I did 5 plus the band. Now we're gonna do our clamshells, but our feet are gonna be up in the air. So if this is my feet on the floor, this is up in the air. Again, I'm keeping the weight above the knee. You can press your feet together. Gives you another point for being able to work that hip. Do 2 more. Up a hand. And let's roll over and do side 2. We will be done. No, we're not almost done. We're halfway through our last set. We have chest exercises, and then we're done with our first set. So feet down, this is what it looks like. You're lined up like you have a wall behind your shoulders, your hips, and your feet. We're gonna lift those feet up and go for 12. I'm still pressing down into that weight. Knees pressing up into the weight. And 12. So let's come onto your back. And just hug your knees in. Let your back kind of settle down into the floor. Hips and back are connected. It's all related. You're feeling anything in your back. This is your 30 seconds to let everything chill. And then, like I told you, what we're doing for our last round was the combo move. So you're gonna wanna go a little bit lighter. I'm definitely not doing a fly with 20 pounds. So I'm actually gonna move my weights out of the way. So I'm not gonna use them again. Make sure you have enough space for doing your fly. Grab the weights you're gonna use for your combo move. And we've done these before, so let's do it again. So chest press up, come out to a fly, and bring it down. So up, out, together, and down. 3, out, together, and down. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Your weights do not have to climb together. 10, Check in with your back. 11. And go to 15. 12. 3 more. If you're done, you're done. Hang on to this or save this video. And come back and see if you can do more reps next time. Whew. So that's 15. Bring it down. Let's do a quick pencil stretch. Oh, let's chest, the back, the abs, the quads open up. Come out to a crescent. Stretch through your whole side. All the way down to your hip. Back to center, and we'll go to side 2. And come back to center. Just behind your thighs and roll it up. And we'll get ready to move on to our second circuit. Just 2 exercises. We're doing a 1-arm row, heavy, and we'll be doing a curtsy lunge with a bicep curl. So take a minute. Make sure your back and your shoulders are happy because the biceps and your back muscles all connect through your shoulders. So give yourself a chance to recover, have a drink, and figure out what weight you want to lift for your 1-arm row so you can go heavy. Curtsy lunges can be limited by what you feel like you can bicep curl for many repetitions. Okay, are we set up? Looks like we're set up. Let's take 1 foot wide. You're on your knee. We're gonna make a nice square platform with your back and your body. Your abs are engaged. Shoulders are square. We're not starting like this. You want everything level. And let's go for anywhere from 8 to 12. Pulling with your back. Weight down safely. We'll come around to side 2. Weight down, we'll come back to it. Shake your arms out. Take your arms back. Stretch out your biceps, circle out your wrists. Make sure your arms are feeling happy. One of the side benefits of lifting weights that nobody talks about is how strong the muscles get in your arm just from gripping and lifting. And if you are going from lifting no weight to suddenly trying to lift heavy, you might notice some discomfort. So that's what it is. We build up gradually because it's not just the big muscles that we're focusing on, like the row, we're focusing on back, but you have to build up the tolerance of all the smaller muscles in your arm that are doing the work and your hand, be able to lift and not get hurt. Okay, curtsy with the bicep. I'm going a little bit lighter even than I was for chest. As the workout goes on, that's okay. If we were to do this first thing in the workout, I might be going heavier. So it all depends on how you're feeling. Let's start it. We're gonna go 8 on each side. Or 16 total. Make sure you're crossing behind and not just doing a lunge. And 16. But of course, if you're doing this after the fact, after this class, I don't know what you're doing. Happy lunging. Now, I'm gonna rearrange my bench just a little bit. So I don't have to turn around. Let's set up for round 2. I'm actually gonna start on my left side, my non-dominant side. As far as I get between 8 and 12 on the non-dominant side, that's what I'm gonna do on the dominant side. So we're not starting uneven, shoulders are square. Inhale, exhale and pull. 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Come over to the other side. That's why I turned it around. I don't have to turn around for you. Turn the bench so you can just go over the top. Let's go for 2. Use your breath. Make sure your shoulders not punching up towards your ears. Do 2 more. And we'll put that weight down. Slide my bench out of the way. Take your arms out. Roll your shoulders. We have round 2 of curtsy lunges coming up. So we're counting to 16. When I say you want to make sure you cross, you want a little rotation. If you try to keep your hips square, your foot's not going to want to go back quite as much. But we want that challenge. So let's hit it. 1, 2, 3. See how low you can take that knee? You don't need to touch the ground. Last set. 15 and 16. Shake it out. Up. Put your hands behind your head. Pull your elbows back. Swing your arms out. Swing your body. Let everything relax. We're going to take a full another minute. Let everything settle down. Have a drink. 1 more round. We haven't lifted quite like this in a long time. Be kind to your muscles. If you're really pushing the weight, or want to push the weight, heavier you lift, the fewer reps you need to do. So it's not like we keep increasing the weights and going for 12 to 15 reps. You can lift really heavy, fewer reps, but because it's so much work to lift that heavy weight, you need a much longer recovery time. So taking a minute and a half here is nothing. You're lifting really heavy. You might have a 5-minute break between exercises. So when you see all those strong people at the gym who look like they're doing nothing, hopefully it's because they're letting their muscles recover. And they're not just twiddling their thumbs or scrolling on, well, they probably are scrolling on social media. That's another story. Let's set up for doing our rows. Last round, honor your body. If you can't do 12, stop when you need to stop. I don't know where my left arm is gonna lead me, so we'll see how it goes. Starting nice and square, abs engaged, pulling with those lower traps that we've been working for weeks. Here we go. 2, 3, and the bigger rhomboids. 5, 6, and your arms might be feeling tired because, yeah, your biceps are working here too. 10. Last one. I think that's all I could have done today. Moving on to side 2. Here we go. And up. Oh, exhale. 3. Abs are braced. 5, 6. Make sure you're not doing this and working through your back, your whole spine, I mean. And we can put that heavy weight away. So we don't want to be rocking and rolling through your whole spine, especially not if you're lifting heavier than you're used to lifting. I don't want to do anything to your spine. You want to stay nice and strong, build the muscles so that you can do the work while your spine is safe and stable, which doesn't always mean rigid, but that's a whole nother story. We want your spine to be safe and stable. And when you're lifting heavy weights and rocking and rolling, or if you see people rowing and they're doing this, and they have a heavy weight on the stack at the end of the cable, this is not a rowing machine. Rowing machine, you need to bend and flex and move, right? But when you have weights at the end of the cable and people are doing this, they're gonna hurt their back. So we wanna stay safe, we wanna stay stable. And we wanna move on and do our last round of, just checking what's coming up next. Our next round of curtsy lunges. So last 16, and then we're down on the floor, which may or may not be a good thing for you, depending on how you're feeling, but be excited. We're done with the heavy work. So let's go down and up. 2, 3, take your time with these. You don't have to go my pace. 7, for the last half. You can see if you can come up to a balance. 3, 6, last set. 7 and 8. Weights down. All we need for this next round, all we need for the next round is a spot of floor and a little weight. So we're going to go through these a couple of times. We're going to take a moment and just let your shoulders relax. Let your back stretch. 1 minute here. Grab a drink if you need it. Change your layers if you need to. Adjust your clothing if you need to. Maybe do some backstroke. Make sure that your chest muscles aren't tightening up from the work that we did. Kind of nice doing chest and back on the same day. And people have different philosophies about weight training, but when you're working this way, we're tightening this way, you're stretching your back. And when you're working your back, you're opening up through the chest. So they're actually nice complementary exercises. They don't have to be done back to back, but you get them in the same workout, you get the same effect. Okay, so we're gonna start in a side plank with a light weight in your hands, maybe 3 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. You can do this from your knees. You can do this from your feet. You can keep your feet staggered. I usually start with my foot in front. Doesn't feel very good to do it this way. So my top foot is always in front elbow right underneath your shoulder, pop it up. If you need to push yourself into position, use your foot to support you so you can roll your shoulder back. But we're going to do it like this. You're going to take your arm out front and lift up. 2. Drop your hip, bring the weight down safely. Let's flip it around to side 2. You're wondering, what does this look like? Does it matter if I do it from my knees? No, it doesn't, as long as you're holding on side plank. And let's do that. Let's come into a side plank from your knee. If you put your fingers down here, you should feel those obliques. If you're down here, they're squishy. As soon as you lift up, they're firing to support you. You don't want to be hinged back. You want to be in that nice straight line. And let's do it from here. So my shoulders are perpendicular to the floor. I think it looks like I might be rounding forward, but I assure you I'm not. Good. And then we will come onto our back. Hands behind our head. We're going to do crisscross. That's where we stretch one leg out and reach with our shoulder for the opposite knee. We're going to go to 20. Keeping your back in contact with the floor the whole time. Maybe just lifting up your head, neck, and tops of your shoulders so you can roll. $19 and $20. Hug your knees in. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, flatten your tailbone down a little bit closer to the floor without lifting your back. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. It's okay if your knees move away from you. Just want you to feel your spine getting longer and not feeling like it has to be curled up and tight. Okay, last move. We're going to come into a front plank. You can do this on your hands. You can do it on your elbows. It doesn't matter. You can take your feet wide so we have a little stability. So protract your shoulders, hug your elbows or your armpits in, raise through the abs and the glutes. We're going to lift one leg, lift the other leg, shoulder tap, lift, lift, shoulder tap, shoulder tap. 3, 4. And again, the goal is stability. How can you do this without rock and rolling all over the room? And when you're all done, come into child's pose and rest. I think we'll stop it here for today for the work. If you want to do that round of core exercises again, look at the video, just rewind, do it again. Stretch your arms long, stretch your hips back, let your head relax. Take your arms to the right. And then slide your arms over to the left, getting a nice big stretch through the right side. Let's come onto our backs. Let's cross one leg one knee over the other knee and hug both legs in. I know you might be wondering where our pup is. He's actually been sleeping in the room with me the whole time. He's off camera by the closet. Another week goes by, and he's, I was gonna say, he's so much more mature, but no, he's not. Let's tip our legs a little bit in the direction the top leg is going in. Let those deeper muscles that we were working have a nice big stretch. Must be on a growth spurt. He slept all night. Didn't bother me till 5:30. Now he's back to sleep again. And let's come back to center. You can keep your foot off the ground. Let's just slide this knee out to the side and come into a piriformis stretch or a number 4 stretch. So we're going to pull behind the thigh and push against the thigh. You can hold your right thigh with one hand or with both hands and use your elbow to push that leg away, or you can do one hand on each thigh. And maybe rock side to side. And find your alignment and stretch into it. You might get a lot of pops, you might not. And let's bring your right foot down. Check in with how your hip is feeling. Hopefully there's no tightness. That's all we're checking for right now. Press that knee away and twist down to the right. So we want this to be nice and open. It's typical people want to collapse in. That's a different kind of stretch. Let's do this one. Keeping the IT band in an open position, stretched position, holding it. And then come up. We're going to cross that knee over the other knee like we started and twist down to the left. Just for a little bit and then we'll come up, switching legs. So, and I have right over left. I'm going to hug both legs in, twist down to the left. Give that right hip a nice big stretch. Back to center, slide that ankle onto your knee, figure 4 stretch. Oh my, this side's a lot tighter than the other. So pull in that leg, use your elbow or your hand to open up your right hip a little bit more. And shift your weight side to side. See what it feels like in your spine if things are moving, releasing, popping. Shouldn't be any pain other than what the stretch feels like. Oh, and breathe into it. And then bring your left foot down, butterfly that right knee just to check in with how the hip is feeling. You've got some mobility there. Things aren't clamping down and limiting your movement. And twist down to the left, keeping that knee pressed forward, opening up through the front of the hip. So you want to be here, not here. And then let's roll all the way over. You do a scorpion stretch. Arms out by your shoulders, chest. Pressing into the floor. We're going to lift up and reach across. And come back down. Lift up and reach across. Do that one more time. And coming back to center. We're going to prop ourselves up, squeeze your booty, pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Shift right and left if it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. And then from here, rock back into child's pose.
And this is where we'll end. You can stay here as long as you like.